We're making progress. There's about 34 surgeon sheaths in there. So I'm going to run off to the laser guy real quick. I'm real lucky that Ben over at Instant Engraving is like 2 minutes away. So we're going to drop off these Titans. They're going to get logos on them, and this little D9, sorry, this little Akuma is going to get a custom laser engraving for a client. Okay, so pro tip. If you're making kydex sheaths, right, don't leave your little heat gun hanging out the side like this, where you can walk into it, because let me tell you, it's going to give you a really interesting scar. 10 out of 10, do recommend. Problem solved. So right now we're just knocking back the excess. It's going to give us some cool graffiti style sheaths just to make it a bit more interesting.
We're making progress. There's about 34 surgeon sheaths in there. Just need some paracord on there and a little lanyard, and we can start sharpening them. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all the guys that picked up surgeon over the last 2 days. I posted the first video on Friday and I had record sales that day. Last night I posted the destruction test and we doubled our sales. So Our stock is nearly 70% sold out within the first 30 hours, which is fucking mind blowing to me. So you guys are bloody crushing it. I know a lot of people were using the discount code for frontline workers, for military, police, all that sort of stuff. If you're one of those guys, I want to support you, I want to get my knives to you. So shoot me an email, ideally a selfie with your ID, so I know it's you, I don't know you're not ripping me off. I'm sorry I have to do that, but unfortunately, there's shitheads in the world. So yeah, just a huge thank you to all the guys who picked up surgeons. Also a huge shout out to my first Patreon guy. So I wasn't actually planning on announcing any of this, but I have started a Patreon. I started a few weeks ago. I haven't done a whole lot with it yet. I plan on doing a lot more with it and putting a lot more benefits and that sort of stuff in Patreon. But this all just happened before I kind of expected it. I was planning on releasing that in the next few weeks or so. Anyway guys, I really appreciate it. Let's get back to making kydex. So while I'm doing kydex, I figured I'd sneak in some commissioned kydex sheaths. Now these aren't my knives, these aren't my designs, I have nothing to do with them. I'm just making the kydex sheaths for them. Normally I wouldn't do this, but even though sales are good right now, I don't want to turn away paying work because I don't know what it's going to be like. As a small business owner right now, everything's very uncertain. So if there's paying work coming in, I'm going to take it. So making some sheaths up for some bussies. A lot of knife guys will know these. Some Zoos, which is an Australian knife manufacturer. And then DP, this dude. Don't know who this dude is, but it's a cool knife. So I'll knock these out as well. Just a little bit of extra side money and helps keeps the lights on in this place. So normally when I make a sheath, I'd actually run a knife along this edge and cut the excess tape off. But I actually don't want to damage that edge. So one way you can get around that is to get yourself a cut-proof mat or just any sort of soft surface. And you rock the knife on there. And the knife's sharp enough, it'll cut it off for you. It's a little bit dangerous with a double-edged knife, but as long as you're careful, you'll actually get that off. And that little excess can just pop off. And there we go. That little bit there I can cut off with scissors, and we haven't damaged our edge at all. So I've used to always use duct tape for this, but as I sort of got better as a sheath maker, I've switched to using masking tape, which pretty much everyone in the industry uses. It just it leaves a slightly nicer impression. It's a little bit more expensive to use because this is like $6 a roll compared to $2 a roll, and it's a lot thinner, so you have to use more layers. But it gives you a better product and it's easy to work with because it's sort of it cuts a lot easier. It doesn't have like a frayed edge like the duct tape I was using had. So when it comes to cutting kydex, I see a lot of people making life just way too difficult for themselves. You see that people actually bandsaw the kydex when it's in a flat sheet like this, and there's a much better option. So just get your sheet, find roughly the center where you want to cut it, get yourself a DB blade surgeon, or any knife really, score it, and sort of just break it right at the seam. No bandsaws, no burrs, nothing. And it's just a nice even break. So here is all the surgeon sheaths. Excuse the unprofessionalism, they're all just laid out on the floor in my office because there's a whole lot to keep track of. There's 30 odd knives here, plus more in the other room that still need sheaths. but this sort of helps you let's see what goes where, because obviously they're all serial numbered and everyone's ordered their own specific serial number. So this is going to be shipping out on Tuesday. At the moment it's Easter long weekend, so Tuesday when the post office opens, we'll be shipping these all out. We've got knives going to Switzerland, United States, the UK, all across Europe, all across Australia. Basically everywhere across the world these knives are shipping out. So huge thanks to everybody who ordered, and I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll have another video coming up tomorrow.